So here's what we're doing today. Working on a jacuzzi jetted tub that wasn't wanting to operate properly. And if you're here, you probably know all about this. It has this air thing that they call a bellows. And it has a hose that goes here, and if you're here, you know how all this works. So let me show you what the shenanigans on this are. Inside there, that black stuff is, lo and behold, a piece of metal. And not stainless steel metal. And not aluminum metal. Why wouldn't they have a set screw on this or something like that? This just goes back to, I think that they want you screws back on and be done in 10 minutes. It should not be this huge video. And I think right here's the culprit. This piece of metal, and I was saying, well, heck, I won't put the metal back on, but you know what? It doesn't work without the metal. You've got to have the metal on, or it's too loose. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how am I going to put these back on where someday when I have to replace the air valve thing again, how can I put these on? And so I've been messing around doing this, just making sure that these go off and on. Just that piece of metal. Can you see what I'm doing? Right, just like that. And look how nice and easy it comes off. It does today anyway. And they both could just go on nice and I could walk away. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to spend a little bit more money and I'm going to put some lubricant on this. Now you can do this or not do this yourself. And what kind of lubricant you use depends on what you're in the mood for. Some people say if you use this lubricant, it eventually gets hard and it's going to be stuck on there worse. I came up with a lubricant that I'm comfortable is safe with. The idea is I don't want this metal to rust. So I came up with a lubricant that I'm going to put on, and it's supposed to be safe for plastic, safe for rubber, safe for metal, and safe for everything. And I'm telling you, the other thing I'm going to do is as I'm in here taking jacuzzis from time to time, I'm just going to slide these knobs off and on to keep them lubricated. So let me put these in, let me get these lubed up. Okay, I did this in the corner of a baggie. You know how YouTube and the internet and everybody else is, that no matter if it's perfect or not, people are going to go, you shouldn't put that on there, it's going to be bad for it. But put it on there, don't put it on there. This is just a step that I'm doing, hopefully, to make it come off easy the next time I do it. So whether you want to put it on or not, you're going to have to do your own research and determine your own lubricant that you put on there. But I'm pretty happy with what I've got. I got it as an auto parts store. And what I'm doing now is sliding it off and on and off and on. And you know, I think what I'll do is I'll drop them back into lubricant again. If you're going to do this, make sure you look into what you're buying, that it's not, because some lubricants and things will eat plastic. And you don't want that. And shove this off and on, and off and on, and off and on. Nice and lubed up, and I think that's going to be good to go. This one here, same thing, off and on, off and on. Okay. Now just zip off back up and put it over there. The guy said, why do you use rubber gloves? Are you afraid to get your hands dirty? Well, for my opinion, rubber gloves, I just paid a nickel a piece for the rubber gloves. I just paid a dime for somebody to wash my hands. And now these go on, and now that just goes on so easy. It's crazy easy. That's awesome. And what I did, I just got my file, and I used this flat edge of the file and just filed a little bit of the top of the graphics ring. So what I've done is I've altered my graphics rings. So I'm going to be able to pull these off anytime I want to. And when they're turned where they usually are, they're not just going to fall off because they're underneath the graphics rings. I'll cut a hole, I'll take a picture of it. But I'm going to be able to have these on, and they go in far enough to lock in place. And when I want to pull them off, see, it's got the little tab there. Let me take a couple of pictures for you here. But I'll be able to pull these off anytime I want to. Is figure out how to get a new bellows going here. And another fellow online, this idea, as opposed to spending, $20, $25, however much it costs for a new bellows, he says, get yourself a baby bottle nipple. Whatever, doesn't even matter what brand it is. But they're like $1.50 a piece. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make my own bellows like the other fellow did. And I'll credit him. I'll put a link on here to show the guy who gave me this idea. But he didn't show epoxy in it, which I'm going to show kind of how I do that. But it's basically going to be that. And then glue that in place. And then shove that all back into the hole. And hopefully that'll be my bellows. Think that'll work? Let's give it a try. Okay, so down here in my little work area. And I'll show you pictures of where these are both cracked a little bit, but they still go on nice and snug. And it's not cracked where the indent is that turns the air control knob. So I'm going to use epoxy. I'm going to stick some epoxy in there into that crack just to see if I can shore that up. Regular dumb old epoxy. Everybody probably knows how to mix that up, right? You just comes out, cut off the tops, comes out in two different things. You mix it up, and then a chemical reaction happens, and it turns into glue. So I was going to try to use part of this black part, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to cut this black part off. And you will see it reveals a spring inside there. Probably worn out spring. If I was smart, I would probably replace that, but you don't have your bellows, you can buy like a little pump, a little squeegee foot pump, and you just connect that up to your air hose, and that'll at least turn your jacuzzi on while you're waiting for all your parts to come in. I whittled that off a little bit, and at one point I thought I was going to pull this thing around, but you know what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to epoxy it just right on top of this thing. Oh yeah, look at the grip that's going to have. And I'll do that on all four sides. So if it even dreams that it wants to get bigger, hopefully it won't. You know what I mean, Vern? Go. So hopefully that will hold those cracks from not cracking anymore. So now, I guess we go like, not that one, I guess we just go like this. is a smarter way to do this. Well, that didn't quite go as I planned. I mean, not a complete disaster, but I'm going to come back and do some up around that edge. So let me mix up some more goo. Or am I just making a hell of a mess? Yeah, great. That was just awesome. Pulling those up. Okay. I just threw in the towel. Fine. Just looked on eBay. There's this thing, this bellows right there from. Okay, like I just said, this thing, it's on there cockeyed. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but it was fun to kind of mess around with. But the more I think about this, my time is more valuable. That if I can get one of those for 17 bucks shipped, this may go in and it may work, and until that one shows up, I'm going to go ahead and put this in, but I won't like put everything back together. But who knows how long this thing would last. At least the one I had lasted a long time, and if I just put the right one in there, I'm not going to have to take all that apart again and risk breaking anything again. So I might use this. I'll show you if this thing works after it dries, but I bought the other one. I could have done this a lot better. I think with a paper towel tube on one end and maybe a circular something on the other, and it put it together better. So I just bought the other one. That's funny. Okay, that's the way it goes sometimes. Okay, so even though I ordered the proper part, might as well test this, right? So I did cut off about 3/8 of an inch off this because the tubing was kind of flared out, and I've stuck that on, and let's see. Hey!